Hello beautifuls, my name's Epic Treasure. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, welcome aboard. We're going to go through the solves for my issues and your issues, and hopefully that'll fix it. Comment below if it does, or if you have a new issue or a different issue that I've not covered. We're going to go through all the comments and cover all of the different broken things on all platforms. So don't forget, if you like what you see, come not that screen, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you know when I'm live. Live streams include building streams, etc. I don't set them at a specific time, so I just appear like a Pokemon, unrelated to PALWORLD. And also in the Discord channel, link in the description below, there's channels there where you can join other people, channels there which also spit out information directly from Pocket Pair in regards to new skins, etc. Patches if you're interested in that, with a different channel. I cover it all. So this video is going to cover my issue, and then we're going to move on to everybody else's issue. Go through all the comments. So with my experience, what had happened to me was I changed my save from custom settings to casual. And the reason I did that was because we were looking for Dr. Braun. And I thought, wow, this meteorite spawn rate is too quick. It doesn't allow Dr. Braun to appear on SJ Island. So I thought, let's just go change the spawn rate from every minute to a big gap, 180 minutes per. But by doing that, I thought, let's just see what the casual settings are, right? So the casual settings and the custom settings are vastly different, because the custom settings, I had maxed out. And the maxed out aspect, which we question, as in people that have experienced this alongside me, is that when we look at the size of the base, we have 50 pals running around on my original custom settings. The casual version of that has only 15 pals. So the question is, if you have too many pals in your pal box or currently at your base, it breaks the game. That was my experience. So I had everything maxed, like I said, changed it from custom to casual, which brought down all the values. So the world that I was originally in had all this extra stuff in it, including the spawn rate, the spawn number of pals. So when we go up here, for example, the pal appearance rate, on my original custom settings, I had it on 3. And 3 means that when you see an alpha boss, there's 3 of them. They can be predator bosses. It's handy if you're farming predator bosses. If you want to see what predator bosses is, go look at the channel. There's a video that I do all of the predator bosses. But with the casual settings, this is set to 1. So it's not only the bosses with the appearance rate, it's also the clusters of pals that are running around the island too, by 3. So by changing those features from custom to casual, heavily affected, I believe, that save. And when I loaded in, let's just jump to that in the video, this is what it did to the screen. It made the map undiscovered. Not only that, because the base had 50 pals running around in it, when I loaded in with the new settings from custom to casual, my base originally had 50 dudes running around. I loaded in, they couldn't load in. So it mucked with the save, obviously. So number 1, if your pal box is full, and you'll know it's full because when you destroy a pal in the game, a sphere will drop on the ground. It'll say pick it up. And that's when you know there's too many in your box. So I brought out a pal merchant to sell my pals. But once you go over that threshold, and if you change your settings, you're in big trouble. And you might not even have to change your settings. It could destroy it just because of your pal sort of overload, if you will. So keep that one in mind. So pal box full, changing settings from custom to anything else that affects the spawn, the pal appearance rate, and also the number of pals at a base. I still stand by having the save interval at 5 minutes and beyond to ensure that those saves are far relatively far apart. Because if you're in a part of the game where the map is glitched or whatever, and you've got 3 saves because within a 1 minute interval, they're all going to be in the same place and you're going to be in trouble. So keep that in mind. I also recommend after you finish your session, pack your pals away back in the box, right? Because then at least you'll know if there's any additional pals you can't put back in the box because it's excessive. I recommend getting rid of the pals that you don't use, whether it be using the essence machine to power up other pals. Just don't have too many running around. That's my hot tip for that. So that should solve your map issue. It should solve your game save issue too. That's my hot tip. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through the comments because there's an array of different solves that don't include what I just mentioned. So we're going to scroll down here. And thank you for this, because if it was not for you, there are, parents playing Palworld with their children, and imagine just being a child where your whole game is utterly broken. So let's move this screen over and make it bigger so you can see it. Over there like this. All right, so we're looking at Jinx Magics. I've had the same issue on Xbox Series X. Went to Reddit for answers and it's fully fixed. I've been playing for a week or just a little more after with no problems. The fix works as such. Now, my fix was literally uninstalling and reinstalling it and praying that one of the previous saves loads. So when you go, let me just shrink this down for a minute. When you go to your saves, go back, we're going to go Epic Treasure up here, restore from backup data. And there'll be 3 there, right? So you can try each of those. I recommend flying away from your base to a different location if you can. This will be a problem if your base has 50 pals in it. They might just all go brrr, load in, and then it'll freeze. Get out as quick as you can. So if that happens, go straight to your menu button and then respawn straight away before all your pals can load in. So let's load this one in and we'll see what happens. Data restored, data be updated, and we'll see how that works out. Let's just go 1 actually and see what happens. Just start. Thank you very much. Simple. Now, back to Jinx Magics. The fix worked such as this. Change autosave time to 30 minutes. So going from my 5 to 30. Also lowered the maximum dropped items down to 2,000 from the base 3,000. This helps the game not only to try to have to save a giant world so often, and there are less drops on the ground for it to deal with. I still have the capture rate and stuff up. I frequently change the settings between 1 to 3 spawn rates, and still works fine and have had no problems since. I hope this helps everyone. Fingers crossed. So yes, pack your pals away. So this one's fine. Our map is fully discovered too. So go back to your previous saves and cross your fingers. There's 3 that you'll be able to choose from, but the 30-minute interval is super safe, I think, because there'll be a lot less pals probably collected there, or bread, etc. I've got mine set on 3 at the moment, but yes, I would probably consider having 30 or in between. Let's scroll down here and have a look at the replies. Safari said, thanks bro, I've been looking for a possible solution for a long time. I feel that somehow it affects other games because they also didn't load after opening PAL and sent me a warning message. So there's that solve. The fun fact is if the map blacks out, it also resets the friendly PAL tamer and PAL critics, allowing you to reobtain the work suitability books from them, which is handy to have. And that was from my name was taken. So Florian Haas 6540 said, never save if your map is not explored, just close the game, which I didn't even consider. I thought, oh my god, we're in trouble. So just shut her down. Cross your fingers it doesn't do anything bad. Double D8181. And that's terrifying. The progress potentially lost. I feel sick to my stomach. Yeah, well, I did resolve it because I uninstalled and fully reinstalled it. And then changed those settings to be a little bit more lenient on the side of resources. So that worked. Uninstall, reinstall, fully shut it down, restart everything. And it should still have like the cloud save, etc. Deep Pud said, yeah, my 400 plus day world is doing the broken save thing as well. Sad times. So hopefully this will work. Fingers crossed. Glenn Palmer 6013. First, try to go into storage of the game and management and delete the reserved space for the game. This will clear space and resync it from the cloud on Xbox. Second, try to move the game saves to a different drive. I've had the internal plus 2 terabyte expansion. See, I don't have an expansion at all. Whichever way works, after it loads, immediately travel somewhere else. That's what I said before. And just sit around there until it makes a new autosave. That's a very smart solution. I had this happen 3 times on Xbox Series X. Now seems stable again. So that is a nice one. Main event said I had it happen too. I changed from custom back to normal to reset everything, and then it happened after. I was able to get my game back by clearing the cache and deleting the stuff in the game files. Then it popped up and asked me what I'd like to restore from the cloud. Now remember, this is cloud only. I restored from the cloud and it worked. I lost a day's progress, but it beats the hell out of having to lose everything. Facts. So there we go. So clearing the saves, as long as you have cloud saves, seems to work. Roll the dice. I'm not responsible if you lose your game. Silver Phoenix said I couldn't load my game at all, but found that if I changed the type of multiplayer to offline, fix that. Interesting. And then we have Ethan Mace. This has actually happened to me on 2 separate games, but a buddy of mine played. A buddy serves on Xbox. The map blacks out and saves, and it gets weird. Difference is the game freezes and kicks us out at these points before doing the defunct save. So if the map bugs out, quickly just quit and restart her. Snowman. I've had this happen to me once before a month ago, which I've had happen about the same. I've a dedicated server for PALWORLD, and it suddenly started loading a save file from 5 days prior after loading in. After clearly seeing all the saves following the 5 days, we tried loading almost all 24, and it would load the same exact 5 days prior file. Each time having the same issue happen, I decided to play through with the save and go from there. Opened the areas back up and rebuilt what I'd done in those 5 days, all for it to happen again. Damn. When the reset happened, boom, save 5 days save file. End up having to fully uninstall PAL, which is what I had to do. From the stack and reinstall it, and had to use this 5 days file. It works in Sim without reverting back. And with the new update, I figured they'd fixed it. Sucks if they haven't. Fingers crossed. I've lost my world of 1,207 days in this recent update. Cannot load back in the world, either stuck on a black loading screen, which I did have. That's what I had at the end. It was just black loading screen. Oh, the game crashes. Big sad. So, Hoopta, I highly recommend just uninstalling, reinstalling it, and it should load, say from cloud, load from the cloud. Floyd McFry, since your other vid on changing the autosave, I've changed it to 30-minute intervals. Black screen, then delete reserved space, reinstall and restore back up from the second one from the middle. And finding the most recent bottom, it either takes 15 minutes for it not to even work or gives you the black screen when quitting the game and trying to load the game again. 30-minute intervals and always restores back up from the middle, if not the last one from the top. It will still save your world settings when you change it and go through this black screen broken map problems. And then the update was, never mind, has given me the broken map. I couldn't save it after logging out and logging back in. Cloud Gaming didn't break the map. And it's saved with no problems. There we go. Love solves. J House said, I've had it fade to black screen and then the roll the eyes, the opening, remember the opening scene. For the first transition about 6 times. I slowly recover the map every time until I saw you mention the setting and saved to 5 minutes, and then roll it back, and so far it's worked for me. So yes, the saving intervals has been wonderful. There must be something going on in people's games that stop that from happening. So Sombra says, over the same issue, you have to delete your 360 save data. I believe on your settings, and after it worked for me. Also, you can get all the books over again from the critics if this happens, and you get to keep the other ones. If you've had completed the critics, fastest way to find out is to go to the cave where the girl gives you the book. That's in my video. There's a pal tamer inside the chromite cave. So look for my video, just type chromite in, and then you'll be able to have a total guide on how to get there, the chromite base. J Baby says, my map has been doing the same thing. You want to go to your backup saves, and the crashing bit is ridiculous right now. Hope they can fix it. Still love PALWORLD. So that seems to be the common sort of denominator with these issues, is going into your save files and reserve space and getting rid of those if you can load from the cloud. I didn't have to go to that extent. I just uninstalled and reinstalled and changed all my settings down so they weren't nuts. Lewis Jones said, since the update I've gotten legendary plasma, laser gatling and multi-guided. The new manuals aren't dropping. Rough Artist said, my game tries to F my map too, but I don't let it, because something, when I load in, it'll give me the tutorial cutscene. And when I see that immediately, I quit out of the game. So that's that rolling of the eyes thing at the start, the blinking. And restart my system and load up the game, and loads properly. I'd like to know what platform Rough Artist is on for that, because I've never seen that before. Dear said, I've had this happen recently, and here's how I fixed it. Hold down the Xbox button on your controller and restart the console, and when it restarts, load up PALWORLD and quit it. Then open up again. It should ask you to choose which data you want to use and pick whichever it should load. Which, that's a different one. I haven't heard that one before. Richard, so the same issue. From time to time, my Series X. Temporary fix, but it happens again. You have to go to your storage in the settings and clear the Xbox. There's another 360 comment as fast as a black screen when you quit the application after it freezes, restart your Xbox. So there's that 360 stuff again, the second time. Lonesome Wolf said, I've had this happen in the past for a few days. I keep restarting my console after a while. It works a bit, then breaks again. So for that, I would tune down your settings, whatever they are, if they're custom settings, and just, lessen the load. Josh, I found if you clear the 3 storages, it'll let you play again and will save. Otherwise, a no-go. This is driving me nuts. I reported it multiple times. Bad Saber said, I saw a video where they said if you go to where he spawns in SJ, you can fly away 150 meters and fly back a couple of times and he will spawn in. I found him in the desert, but have seen him many times since I set the meteor to 1 minute. So I don't think the interval messes him up. Oh, we will try that later. Remind me to do that. Official Mr. Delta said, I played on PC almost since launch and can honestly say I've had 0 game-breaking glitches. I've only had 1 world save that I play, and I'm surprised when I hear about the issues of people having on save files on consoles, just because it's restricted, I guess, to 3. I don't know about others, but from my anecdotal experiences, PCs seem to run the games far less issues. As someone who records PALWORLD, my channel, I couldn't imagine how frustrating it has to be for you trying to record and live stream. Yes, it has been painful. I can't even get my PALWORLD to, open up to title screen, so that's an uninstall, reinstall, I would imagine. Superman's Doctor. So I was having this happen on the game that I played with my son, and we thought we lost everything. How sad would that be? Because aside from the issue that you mentioned, I also had crashing load. We're going to give up, but then I tried uninstalling the game from the Xbox and playing it through the cloud. Not had a single issue since I've changed the settings several times. My map also hasn't disappeared doing this. I don't think I'll go back to installing, but I'm also missing out around 10 seconds of longer load time to boot the cloud service. So that's the thing, if you've got another device to play on, it will rely on the cloud save. And then when you go onto the other device, it should synchronize with that. Savage Drew said, honestly, since the last patch, I always cannot get autosave world. I have to return to the title screen in order to save, and sometimes it will say cannot autosave again. And it'll put me back to where I was until eventually kick me back to the title screen about after a minute on PlayStation. So other people have said traveling to different locations would remedy that. I'm curious if going to a dungeon would remedy that, because it's a total different environment. You would assume that would force an autosave if you go into a dungeon and then leave it, or a tower, for example, or respawning. Choosing to respawn should, in theory, be able to do an autosave. Florian said, I've had the problem now. If your map isn't explored again or the error says you can't save, just restart it until it works, or on the console. I've had that problem all the time. So, you know, that didn't work for me. I restarted, and in the past, and it didn't make a difference, but the uninstall reinstall worked. But restarting it seems all good and dandy. I'd rather that than uninstalling. Savagery Reptile says, I'm on PlayStation, haven't had any of these. Hopefully Pocket Pair can get this resolved soon. You would think so. Just report on, you know, their bugs on the main screen. Tim Scotty 1166 said, the exact same thing keeps happening to me on Xbox. It'll play a few hours and glitch out. I always have to uninstall it and reinstall it and play for an hour or so. It randomly just goes to a black screen. So maybe with that one, I don't know about 30-minute saves. That seems excessive to me, but I'd try and go in between that one. Next one we have Attack Stringer 8573. So I'm dealing with this bug for a little while now. Also on Xbox, and here's what I've learned. If it happens to you, you can dashboard and close out of the game, and sometimes it will fix a map issue, but then the game will refuse to save. So far, nothing I've tried to fix it. I've done everything from reinstalling the game to doing a cache reset on my console. The map is still broken for me, even after the last update. However, if you download the game, past version of the game on the PC, and load up the same save, it works perfectly fine with no issues at all, saving the game and trying to load that. So again, it goes to like that cloud save. And then that can be put onto your console save. Alright, scrolling down. Bang. Caesar Zappelli, I changed my max PAL base down because it was max. I wasn't using empty spaces in the game. Yeah, that's exactly right. So I think it's just an overkill of resources and PAL numbers that can break it. Alpha Wolf, that's the thing, people still need to realise it's still in beta. So not a fully released game. It clearly says you may encounter bugs and glitches in the main menu. I mean, facts, but there's been other things introduced into this game where, with this pre-existing problem that happened before the patch, this should have been a priority. A map that is missing its discoverability, it should be the main priority more than anything else. Walker Dre, I've been having quite a lot of crashes since the last update, and it's usually when fast traveling from base to base and I'm on PC. I've uninstalled the game completely and reinstalled, so hopefully that'll take control. Rudy says this happens a lot on Xbox, but by the way, I fixed this by resetting my Xbox and loading different world, preferably one with not much on it, and I found that the ones that you get into the game, things in the bases tend to strain everything, especially the Series X. Once you reset the Xbox, sometimes it will tell you to load from either Xbox or cloud. Make sure you load from the cloud and save. But technically it's still early access, it's buggy, and Xbox PC tends to handle a bit better. That's if you have the specs. Okay, Savage Drew. Now that I think about it, my autosave issue began when I messed with my settings too. I switched to save from 30 seconds to 10 minutes. And then noticed, assuming minutes, to 10 minutes, and then I noticed the issue and I switched back to 30 originally, and it's been like that ever since. It's to manually return to the title screen. Well, it should say. I hope that it returns to the title screen. Don2377 says, never had this issue on PS5 or PC. Actually, none of the reported issues. The issue I had is on PlayStation 5 after 3 to 4 hours of playing. When I go to the menu, it takes some time load to log out. 10 minutes apparently it can take some people to log out. That's, I don't know how you deal with that. I would lose my mind. Michael Weber. Highlight game, hit menu button, manage game, click on biggest save, usually cloud save, not Xbox, and that should take you to a good save. So the cloud thing seems to be the predominant winner for Xbox, this one. Cody said I had the same thing happen to me on the weekend. When I went back to the black screen and plugged my Xbox, restarted everything and went to the backup save, had no issues getting on after. Oscar, I'm so sorry to see having to experience. I hope you can recover in some way if I can read today. The game seems to be terrible in the last 2 updates. That's exactly the same issue I had with it twice without even changing my settings. It's sad that just for bugs they aren't able to fix it. I will use it on time with hundreds or even thousands of hours. This is why. Let me just open that. That is why quit isn't like I'm flogged to do the same thing the 3rd time, just out of nowhere for a big that they have to lose all again. The map issue has been out since the release of the SJ update, so no point in trying to keep up with trying to play the game if they can fix that bug before they even do more content. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Fix the bug. Like, I love my cosmetics. I love that stuff. Fix this. Please, sweet God, fix the map. We shouldn't have to have workarounds to the map. Miss Queen. This problem with the storage error and game not loading has happened to me several times. I haven't found a fix. Restarted the game on my Xbox Series S 4 times now, and I'm tired. The map is always black with each patch. This is a thing for me. So, Miss Queen, try those other things. Again, I mean, you might have to rediscover the map totally once. Then change your settings to... Well, I would change the settings first to either the 10, 30 minutes, whatever it is. Then rediscover the map. And that should set you good. It's those very, very separate saves. And make sure that you don't muck with the settings either. Pit spawn said happened to me. 3 game runs, 1 normal spawns, 2 random because I'm insane. I didn't lose any actual progress once I flew over the waypoints. They appeared on the map again, were available, just annoying to have a jet around. Yeah, I don't like doing it. Like, my map looks, awful. Like, the main parts are discovered now, but it doesn't look nice and clean. Thank God it's not broken now. So, fingers crossed. Got Reese Repairy on my Xbox Series S. Since the update, my game is crashing every minute. Sometimes it takes 30 minutes to get back into the game, just to get kicked out again. I hope they fix it soon. I can't believe the game is in this state. Yeah, so again, it's going to have to be those extended saves, because I think that it's crashing every minute. Your character is in an area that is likely triggering whatever that crash is. The desert area I find is notorious for that. It always has been for that. When the game first came out, and a lot of people won't know this because they came through PlayStation, by that time it was fixed, you just fall through the world. Yeah. In certain parts of the desert, you would just walk in one spot. It was just like quicksand through into a different world. You'd have to reload. It was just awful. What worked for me on Xbox was uninstalled the game overnight and haven't crashed and gotten an error since. Go from Brojak. T&E less 10 at the black map of death. Restarted the game settings, hasn't happened. Someone swears it's because of a full PAL box, so I keep seeing the numbers limit helps. See, that's what I'm saying. That was my issue. So whether it's a coincidence or not, I'm not sure. Venomous Book, you asked me something about changing the settings may have caused a file corruption. Maybe. I think so. I think there's like a common denominator with that. Gadsenden, if your Xbox If you're on Xbox, only play the cloud. I haven't had this problem anymore, so there you go. Cloud every time, it seems. This has been happening to me, says Timothy, for a while now. Uninstalled and reinstalled the game twice, and it still does it. I've had Backbone for my phone that I used to use for World PAL backup when I had an old gen, so I'm going to try and see if that gives me any trouble. See, so that will use the cloud save, and I think then that will release the Xbox from having a jank file. Hopefully. Let me just run over to this. Do I have any food? I hope I do. My character is starving to death. Yes, we do. Grab this carrot quickly. Alright, let's move on to the next. Alright, so we'll check Timothy's. Burke6133. As someone who doesn't have a lot of time to invest in games like this that I enjoy, I have a huge time sinks. I only play when I can, adjust settings and make things smoother for a single player experience. I do sets of rules on myself so it's still fun to play, but I have mods I can use to basically give myself back all the pals and whatnot. If I ever did lose my save or anything like that, it's hard to justify putting the time into it. Backs. DP says, the silver lining when the map resets, so do some or maybe all of it NPCs, including the ones with the suitability books. I have 6 now just because my map reset. Well, that's handy to know, isn't it? Spinorex said I have the similar issue with the game. It'll load and 2 minutes later it goes right into storage problem screen. I tried everything to fix. So, oops, somebody had said obviously to go into your reserved space and delete that. Or use the cloud through another device, and then hopefully it will make a new autosave through the cloud and that will synchronize. Maddie says maybe your map is bugged because of the supply drop. Having 100 markers at the same time may be too heavy. Facts. Or maybe you quit your game at the same time a marker is made and your map say bug. That could be possible too. Absolutely. Just some ideas, but I never got that. That's very interesting. So having your meteor spawn thing set at 1 minute and you quit out just as a meteor falls, it could indeed break it. A lot of people don't put the meteor drop to max. I'm having the best loot chest every 1 minute. It's kind of crazy. It may be the cause. But do as you wish. It's your game. And that's right. Like, once you play the game for 900 hours, in my brain, I don't see the point of struggling anymore. And I don't play the game to go through the dungeons and things like that. Now I'm just building houses. So having supply drops and things like that, if I need to build a house to do a tutorial, it's just a waste of time to struggle for me. If I was playing the game, I want to play the game, I wouldn't be setting my meteor drop that quick. But that is the biggest time sink is, and they'll probably, change this around as time goes on. Going from not needing crude oil to needing crude oil is a massive time sink. The same feeling of needing, the circuitry boards at the start. That was the biggest sort of time sink, is getting all the quartz and everything like that, the PAL oil. But like in my tutorials, you can get your high quality PAL oil from a vendor anyway. So catch a vendor. Watch the channel for that. There's crazy tutorials in that. If you're new to this and you don't have a whole sort of shop of vendors, get into it. It's a beautiful gift, including the bounty guys you could put at your base, so you can perpetually hand in the bounties to him instead of having to travel to get one. Empiric Fox said on Xbox, when the map thing happened, I quit via Xbox menu rather than saving. Exactly. I did that until it worked. I also had the world not saving properly a couple of times and then quit via Xbox menu. It sorted itself out. So that's an important thing too, because Xbox does have quick resume. It's important to restart your whole console, otherwise you'll just load into where you were before. Quick resume is the most amazing feature I think that Xbox has. I've had games that I haven't touched in ages and I'll load it up and I'm still standing where I was. So quick resume is something that I think can hinder Xbox people's experience with this game if it's broken. So make sure you do like full bang reset, not the reset of the whole console, but just restart it. Buddy says PC version is arguably even more broken. So we've got an interesting PC problem. My solo worlds got corrupted 7 times under various circumstances. Had to restart anew every time. The game has completely messed up issues with autosave function and progress lost for no apparent reason. Reports of which go back to February 2024, and none of it has been fixed. One of my save files downright started causing, I don't know this stuff, BSODs. Oh, black screen of death. Sorry. Blue screen of death. You know that I'm a console nerd now. I don't even remember. Blue screen of death. I know that. The horrible, yes, with the QR code on it thing. Oh God, don't laugh at me. That would account 700 plus days. Look, I told you. I said that I would, if it did it to me again, I would do PC because I'm so tempted. I saw your railings, chat. If you're on PC, I've seen your railings that you've got and the textures. And I sort of thought, and tell me in the comments if, I don't know how many PC people are playing this and how many people are modding their stuff. But for me, I'm like, do I want to play PC and have mods? Because it sort of ostracizes or keeps away the console people. And I don't want to do that. So what's the point of me going, this is where you put a railing when you can't have a railing. So yes, I can do modded versions of buildings, but I'm a little bit scared to do that because I'm not familiar with modding things. I don't play PC anymore. I used to go nuts with mods on World of Warcraft, for example, but they were like UI mods. They weren't like God mode type of things. They weren't texture type of mods. They were just like threat meters and things like that. So I know kind of how to install stuff, but I think that Game Pass mod things are a totally different monster, so I'd have to get the PC version of it. Wandering Paladin. Dang, I'm so sorry that happened to you. It hasn't happened to me yet. Well, that's good. Crusader 1978. Since the update, the patch auto save is broken on PS5, especially if you're at your base. I have to fast travel to a quiet area to auto save. Yeah. Or respawn might work too. Certain settings have been broken for me since SJ update. I have 2 separate bugs occur today. One specifically settings related and the other general gameplay bug. I wonder if changing from custom to casual altered your world seed, which is interesting. Explain why you would need to revisit everywhere again. That's very interesting. Derek said this has been an issue with Xbox One since day one and never have been fixed. And it has nothing to do with changing your setting. It's a cloud saving issue, not an Xbox issue. So I just wonder what I get that, but I don't, something has to be the catalyst for it breaking, I think. Josio Torres says, for the same problem of saving issue, identical, same message. Had it happened to me before, restarting this console fixed. Last thing was a black screen. By the way, I didn't change settings, so sad. And that's, if you have the same issue as me, just uninstall, reinstall. Oh yes, from Uncle Lizard. I've had to deal with it almost every time I open my world on the Xbox Series X. Here's what you can do. Here we go. We got a big, nice, clean Uncle Lizard troubleshooter. Number 1, close Palworld. Number 2, my games and apps. See all, manage storage devices, clear local save games. Number 3, your Xbox will restart. Load up a fresh world that you barely touch. Create a new one if you don't have one. And then wait until you see the saving icon 2 times. And once you do, return to the title under options and load the other world that you're trying to fix. If you see the saving icon, it doesn't crash like 30 seconds, you're good. Let me know if that works. That's an interesting one. It's very annoying. I hope Pocket Pair fixes it soon. So, yeah, again, cloud save for the win. Mikkel Unsford. Dill. I'll get there one day. Same thing happened to me right after the most recent update. I didn't change the settings or anything. Depends on what your settings are in the first place, Mikkel. If they're nuts like mine, that could be the reason why. Next one. Bad. You are killing me with these names. Chat, God's sakes. Bad Ruborg. I'm the first commenter. What broken things I've faced is that I drop in the water and then I have to climb up to land as an actual landmass of the game. Yeah, sometimes you might load in and you hear a splash. Sometimes. I've had some bugs where the boss music keeps playing well after you leave the boss area, which is kind of interesting. Bard of Fumbleclot. Come on. Bard of Fumbleclot. You and your names, chat. I've had a similar fail to say black screen. I changed the settings to max and pals at base 50 and I lost track of how many I was taming. It seems to have problems with the combined captured pals. Exceeds the total capacity, the multiple PAL pages. The only way I got to work again was logging onto my partner's Xbox. Condensing like no tomorrow. That's right, getting rid of the PALs. Eventually it saved and was able to return to my own Xbox Series X. Now I play on the preset difficulties. There you go. So that was Bard of Fumbleclot. Diablo for Genocide. The same thing happened to me every time. It sucks. Anti-isolation 4. This is why I literally caught him when I first saw him. Yeah, catch Dr. Braun if you see him straight away. Bang, bang. David Lopez. I haven't had that issue since the upload. Lucky you, David. Nostalgia. I hate the fact that you started with that rather add a spring festival to the game. The game isn't unplayable in any state in any way. Well, it is, actually. I just started a new save this update, and I'm at 500 days on Xbox, and since I can play remotely at Rhodes, I mean, it is. It might not be for you until it is unplayable. Nostalgia. So I'm not going to give you a thumbs. I'll give you a thumbs up anyway. We should do hearts and everybody should be shocking. I'm going to do that later. Okay. Marco says, hey, I didn't move any of the settings. It happened to me too. Don't think it's the reason. Game is broken. Again, what's your settings in the first place? How many pals have you got? CMB Bliss. Try clearing local Xbox 360 storage. That was another one. White Dragon. I'm starting to get annoyed with the whole map turning black bug glitch, whatever it is. I keep losing my registered waypoints on it. So what happens, I have to fly to those locations. Yes, unlock them. Then the map to fast travel like normal, just like you showed in the video. And my game is broken when I tried to do the Xenolord raid, and that would be nuts because I did the Blazement one and I couldn't even see what was going on. I kept getting that it couldn't save warning because the HDD SSD might not have enough space, blah, blah, blah. The Xenolord raid is too much for the game to handle. And the reason why it keeps spam spawning all those Xeno monsters in the raid, which cause a huge amount of lag if you don't kill those annoying ASAP. My game completely glitched out when Xenolord disappeared and when the timer ran out every time. I tried putting my knocked out Anubis in my PAL box and the game crashed right after every time. Whenever I tried picking up the items that drop, when the metal walls are destroyed, the game crashed. Not only that, but the game would not auto-save and kept crashing or freezing constantly. I did all the things I'm seeing in all the other comments other people are saying it didn't really work. I uninstalled the game, and it wasn't until I chose the load save data from the cloud option that I was slowly able to keep the game going to the point where it wouldn't crash. It was an extremely frustrating experience, and I'm too scared to farm any more Xenolords since that happened. I managed to defeat him a couple of days later because I really wanted to get the Invader passive skill he has to Mother Dark Pals. I'm just going to stick with that one Xenolord I got from that egg, and I'm not going to challenge it again. Black Edition MMD, thanks, I guess that's full PAL box. Yep. Barry Davies said, I have the same issue with the saves on PS5, made a new world, doing the same. Keep getting row backs on my PlayStation 5. What is that? But I'm giving you a thumbs up anyway. Aaron Burns, Cloud Gaming, seems to be working for me. Here we go. You can redo the PAL skill books when it happens. Done. Bonus. William Parker. Since a new map update, this has happened every single day. Beyond frustrating on Xbox. Xbox Series X, again, you know, that cloud option. Xbox Series X, bought PALWORLD. Lost one save at 2016 days with all breed pals for traits, and another 207 days. World data could not be loaded. I've got to say I'm done. That sucks. But go for the cloud saves. And maybe it will fix it, Tom. Mal gas delay. Oh, come on. Well, that is not cool. I don't think I've ever had that. I play on PC. PC would have so much more ability to be flexible with storage and what it can load in, I suppose, depending on what rig you have. Jalal, I'm from Xbox. Thank God it didn't happen to me. Well, I'm glad it didn't either. Anime Kid, same thing happened to me. Restart the Xbox, should be fine after that. Another thing I noticed was the difficulty settings would change, which makes many changes. Only make the change of the setting that's supposed to be changed. I've encountered bugs. This before immediately dashboard and quit. J Baby says, everyone go report the bug on the website. Maybe they'll fix it. Yes, do that. Grace Vox, thank you for the video and the heads up. Appreciate it. I play on PC and honestly say it doesn't happen. Yeah, change your saves, like I said, to at least 5 minutes in between. Kenny says my PS5 world is broken from the new update. My file stopped working with the error CE108255-1. I had to start a new game. Well, just uninstall, reinstall, I guess. Devon says it's not broken forever. If it's Series X, you've got manage your game. Again, reserve space. Not all or game save data. Then go to your console setting, find the Blu-ray section, and clear persistent storage, and restart the console. It also heard screen recording is fixed some pals. There you go. That's a weird one. That's an interesting solve. Patera. It's happened to me. I reported, just got bored of the game since I was exploring the map and uncovering more stuff. Then my map reset itself and I lost everywhere. I couldn't be bothered. Needs to have a setting where the fog of war can't be turned off. Yeah, that would be nice. Just have an auto explore map on. Bang, done. No problem. Hope it helps you guys. Thank you. Michael said I was getting this could not save issue as well on my Series X. I cleared my local data for PALWORLD and 360 data. Unplugged the console for a minute. Reload seems to fix the issue. I had no issues since before the update. Worse feeling. So much time and effort potentially gone. Haven't had the map issue though. Had similar issues on my other games in the past, and the fix seems to work for them too. Orbit said, not had that problem on PC, but I've not changed any settings after making a world, so no clue. I've had my world with hard presets, no change. I guess, have you got a full PAL box? That's my question. GG Sideshow, this didn't happen to me, but on PC. Might be a console thing. But it seems predominantly on console. Mark Knight, this shit happened to me a month ago and I didn't know how to fix it, so I deleted everything and started over. I was so upset. 1,000+ days gone. Glad I'm not the only one to experience that, though it sucks. And you feel like, oh my god, exactly the same look on your face. I'm like, what? What I did, I lost for words. So much time and energy, I just couldn't believe I played on Xbox. Well, cloud save. I can't remember if Xbox One is cloud saves. Can't remember, but there has to be a cloud save. You would think. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, Attack String is such a great game. I want to play it so bad. They just kind of stick to Nintendo with their stupid but it's literally unplayable on console right now. At least I'm on Xbox. Unfortunately, the only friends I have play the game are on Xbox. I mean, it's not broken for everyone, but until they fix it too. Are all the issues on PS5 specific or cross platforms? Well, predominantly on Xbox and some PS5, and a little bit on PC, but not too many. Same. I'm pretty sure that it's just an issue on Xbox. They've never been good or playable, whereas PlayStation pretty much has no issues on the game. And games on PlayStation simply run better. Sly Guy, that's not true. There are some issues with PlayStation. And don't forget that Xbox, you'd think that though Xbox has been around longer with this game, it would be more ironed out. And then Rockvet says, yikes. So there are all the comments. Feel free to comment if it worked for you or if you have a new problem that I did not cover, because we've covered an awful lot. Roblox avatars are ruined. Well, we're not doing that today, are we? So this is a 50-minute long video, but let me just get this thing off the screen. That's what I think. So Xbox people, get your cloud saves loading. So delete your saves off your console if you feel safe enough to do so, and if you know your cloud saves are good. Or jump on a device that you can play Xbox on. So for me, I have an Xbox Series S also. Load it up on that. It should synchronize with a cloud save. Play it a little bit, have a new cloud save, then load it up on the other one. Sometimes synchronization can be nuts, but I would be packing your PALs away, making sure everything is clean and tidy before you shut it down. So not have PALs just working at a base. I don't care if you've got quick resume on. Another hint that I would do, and I know that I haven't done this in my builds because I like to look when the bees drop the honey. Make sure that you have transport pals around that are collecting everything. Otherwise, there's just going to be, and having so much honey on a base, the beehive that I made, if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the tutorial of this one. This is the all-in-one 7.0 base. There's a full tutorial from, where the hell are you going? From literally square by square. It has everything. This base has been fine-tuned 7 times now, and I'm going to quickly go through it, and definitely you're going to love it. I think this is my beautiful home. If you're predominantly into breeding, obviously you want a breeding-only base, but this covers everything. It's all-in-one, everything. So basically, let's have a little tour if you're interested in this, with everything in mind. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4 breeding pens, right? 4 breeding pens in this base. It has your gardening section. We have to add some stuff down there. Over here, we have the essence conductor machine. We have 2 of those hatcheries. We have 2 pumpers. We have 2 furnaces. We have down here the bar area, which has 2 of the big furnaces. We've got the cold box there. This is where the vendors are. So you've got your own shopkeepers. So there'll be a PAL vendor there. There'll be a normal merchant there. And then there'll be another PAL vendor, another merchant there that has the different stuff. So whether it be electric organs or whether it be fire organs, whether it be PAL oil there. This is where I put my bounty turn-in guy. So he gets bound by the sand bags there. Watch the tutorial. I go into all the detail for that. Out the back of here has the little sanctuary, and the sanctuary is basically where I sleep. And then there's a medicine bench, etc. there. So it's just like this little healing center, I suppose. Over here, I've got the guild chest, probably the best item in the game. There's my advanced chest here, nicely laid out. There's no issues with pathing whatsoever in this design. We have 3 tier 2 ore nodes there. 1, 2, 3 of those. The money making machine there. We have 2 of the conveyor belts there. We have the cold crusher there. We've got some more mining things over there. We've just got a box here, and then we've got another lot of mining over there. The expedition center is here. Everything fits in perfectly. Grab that. Then we have the 2 electrical pumpers there to preserve our power. I love how you can see the waterfall through the door there. What else have we got over here? Most important part here is the beehive. Let's jump up onto a dragon. So the beehive is important because I kept going over this over and over again. In Pal World, as you get later in the game, you start breeding pals to make the best pals, the best passives. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, let's go to party, go here. So as you can see, his passives down here are otherworldly cells and destructive, right? So his otherworldly cells gives him extra attack, extra fire damage, extra lightning, right? So when you start breeding pals with other pals, you want to have the best passives together. So if it's a base where you want hard workers, then you want their work speed, etc. increased. So you basically breed the best passives to get the best workers, just the same as you're breeding to get the best fighting pals with the best stats. And then you can pump the other pals by sacrifice into them to level them up with their star rating. I know it gets a bit nuts after a while. So there's this essence machine over here where basically you pick a pal and then you can sacrifice other pals of the same, exactly the same, to level them up, to give them more stars. As long as you've got one, I'm going to sneeze. The same pals. So you can't like sacrifice birds for Splatterina. You have to have Splatterinas for Splatterina. And as long as she's got good passives, then pump her up. But if she doesn't, then don't bother about it at all. Wait till you get a perfect breed and then pump your sacrifices of your essence into them. And that sort of whittles down how many pals you've got in general too. Yes, so it is, and this is a lovely feature. Thank you, Prime, for that hot suggestion. I always say in this one, where we have 3 eggs up the top. They're unhatched, and that's why they glow. So at night time they look lit. So over here we've got a whole bunch, I believe, of Anubis eggs that we're trying to inventory full. Good job. And also that other hot tip, you can shove things in your storage box that's inside your ranches. You can put all sorts of stuff inside your ranches if you want. We've got eggs everywhere, so we'll just quickly see this for a bonus. Then go down to settle eggs. Oh, we've got a timer on these. We didn't change the timer. Damn, they're going to be sitting there for a while. You can change the timer to immediate, so you don't have to really worry about that. Now, apparently these conductors, these pumpers have been improved so they get more oil. Is it true? Doesn't seem to be that effective because they've been pumping for a while. Probably better than what they were though. So it's a really good base. It has everything that you need in it. But as I was saying, sorry, back to it. This beehive here is for making the cakes for breeding. So we put the cakes in the box outside the breeding pen. And so for every cake, an egg is made once you put a male and female in there. See, they're sitting in there. And the ingredients for cakes are milk, honey, berries, flour, and what's the other thing? Oh my God, I know you're answering me right now and I can't hear you. Milk, honey, flowers, berries, eggs. So the vendors that I teach you in that video how to get have all those ingredients. So you don't have to have cows on the farm. You don't have to have chickens on the farm. You don't have to have patches of berries growing. You don't have to have wheat farms. You can buy all those items straight from the vendor, except at this point in February 2025 for honey. There's no vendors that sell it. And that's why there's a beehive in this space. So the beehive allows you to perpetually and passively just make honey for this. And as you can see, we have 38,000 honey, which is, enough to keep you going for a very long time. There's 7,000 just in that. I'm going to eat it, or I may as well just eat these ones. Yeah, I'll put the honey back in there. You don't need to put the honey in that. It doesn't expire. But the other hot tip I've got before I go to your guild chest and put all your food items in there. So as you can see, we have flour. It's not ticking down. The berries are not ticking down. None of these are ticking down. Everything in your guild chest is frozen in time. And that's all you need to worry about. Don't put them in, you don't need to put them in cold chests. Really? Oopsie. I'd like to eat it. And that keeps them from spoiling, which is lovely. It's not lovely to have it spoiled, but it's lovely to have that picture. There's 2 mils there just because you get so much flour. So you get so much wheat to just make it. So why not have them all? And then we'll just get that machine going for later on. But that's the base. It's a really cool base. It's perfected beyond anything that I can, consider improving. I mean, it's up to you. If you're a breeding maniac, you might not need those breeding pens. You might have your own base just for breeding. And I would probably, if you don't do that, I would put 3 tier 2 mines across there. And you'll have all the money you need. Those vendors will have basically everything you need in the game. So again, watch the tutorial how to catch those vendors, the merchants. So they're at your base. You can have your basically whole shopping centre there, which is amazing. I'm going to love and leave you. I hope that solved your issues in the game. Please let me know if it does. And don't forget to come over to the Discord channel. Again, link in the description below. I'd love to see you there. And as with the community, it's just lovely there, and lots of people sharing lots of resources too. Resources that show you where all the predator pals are. Amazing. You don't have to dig for anything. I post all the videos for Pal World that I do here also, so you don't miss out on them, but just set your notifications anyway. I'm going to shut up. I'll leave you with a song. If you're a streamer, if you're a content creator who needs music, you can just go to Spotify and access my playlist. And that's DMCA free. You won't get any notices or, anything on that. So we'll leave you with a song. Let us pick my favourite one for the moment. There's albums popping up all the time, so you can just leave the playlist playing. Spotify, look up Epic Treasure, you will find me there. Make up your own playlist, but everything that's in there, you'll be able to use with reckless abandon. Love and leave you. See you soon.
Just like that, my favorite habitat. A trace from